Attention passionate Detroit, Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Detroit LIONS fans. Let's get to the news now. Lions fans, buckle up because what's being whispered around NFL circles is pretty wild. There's serious buzz about the Detroit Lions potentially making a bold move that could reshape their defense and propel them even further into Super Bowl contention. And the player at the center of this speculation, Kyle Hamilton from the Baltimore Ravens. Yeah, I know, it sounds crazy to even think about, but the NFL is a league where surprises happen all the time, especially when teams are looking to push their chips in. And the Lions are definitely in that mode with their 9-4 record and sights set on postseason greatness. So let's set the scene here. The Ravens, currently sitting at 6-7 and navigating a tight cap situation, are pondering a pretty significant roster shakeup. After giving Lamar Jackson that lucrative extension, Baltimore's cap space is looking a bit squeezed, around $10 million free, with an extra $13 million tied up in Hamilton's deal. Now, with their eyes on rebuilding the defensive line and considering their struggles on defense, ranking about 64. 5 PFF grade, they're looking at options. One of those options could be trading Kyle Hamilton, a versatile, hybrid safety out of Notre Dame who's been a star for Baltimore in 2025, to Detroit in exchange for draft picks and a young safety, with the goal of prioritizing upgrades on the offensive line. Now, why would Baltimore consider trading Hamilton? Well, the Ravens are weighing their options, and with cap constraints, they might see this as a chance to free up some room to extend players like Justin Madubuike or address their needs on the line, especially since their secondary hasn't been as dominant as they'd like. Hamilton, who's been playing at an elite level this season, 58 tackles, 9 pass deflections, 3 interceptions in just 13 games with a PFF grade of 92. 0 is a game changer. His ability to cover, make plays, and disrupt opposing offenses makes him a perfect fit for a Lions secondary that's been solid, but could use a splash of that elite playmaking. And think about it, bringing Hamilton into Detroit would be a huge boost to their secondary, which has already been showing signs of improvement. With Jerry Jacobs and Cam Sutton locking down the perimeter, Hamilton's versatility in the slot or at safety would elevate the unit to a new top-tier level. Plus, with players like Brian Branch, who's been battling through injury but remains a key piece, and Kirby Joseph, who's been making strides, Hamilton's addition could turn Detroit's secondary into one of the best in the league, especially in terms of creating turnovers and limiting big plays. This move could also help the Lions balance their defense, making it more adaptable against both the run and pass, and giving them a significant advantage in close games. But let's talk about Hamilton's recent performance. This guy has been a difference maker in 2025. His tackles are solid, but what really stands out are his ball skills. With 9 pass deflections and 3 interceptions, he's been a nightmare for opposing quarterbacks, and his coverage grade of 92. 0 is among the best in the league. His ability to read plays and make crucial tackles, missed tackle rate of just 3. 9% means he's reliable, consistent, and a true playmaker. His tackles per game are about 1.5 above the average safety, and he's been a force in both run support and pass coverage, with a coverage EPA of -0. 25 indicating he's often a positive influence on the field. Looking at his career so far, Hamilton has played 62 games, racking up 285 tackles, 9 interceptions, and 5 forced fumbles, with a coverage grade consistently above 91. That kind of production is rare, especially for someone so young. His impact was evident from Week 1, when he snagged 2 interceptions against the Kansas City Chiefs, limiting Travis Kelce to just 40 yards, highlighting his ability to neutralize top offensive weapons. His versatility, playing both in the box and in coverage, has drawn comparisons to some of the league's best safeties like Minkah Fitzpatrick, and it's exactly what the Lions need to elevate their secondary to elite status. Now, on the flip side, Baltimore's side of the story is about cap management and roster balancing. They're looking to rebuild their defensive line, which has been underwhelming this season, with a PFF grade of 64. Trading Hamilton could free up significant cap space, allowing them to extend other key players like Majibuik and perhaps bring in additional help on the line. But there's a risk. Moving a player of Hamilton's caliber exposes their secondary a bit. And the Ravens' secondary has already been a bit leaky, allowing about 26 points per game and 200 yards through the air. They're in a bit of a rebuild mode, and parting ways with Hamilton might be a short-term hit for a potential long-term gain, especially if it helps them shore up other areas. Now, flipping the script to Detroit's perspective, this is where things get super intriguing. The Lions, currently sitting at a very respectable 9-4, have been thriving on offense, with Jared Goff leading the way, throwing for over 900 yards and maintaining a solid 27% interception rate. But their secondary has been a bit of a concern lately, especially after injuries to Branch and Joseph. They've been allowing about 200 yards per game through the air, which is not terrible but could be better, especially against top-tier offenses. Adding Kyle Hamilton would be like injecting a shot of adrenaline into that unit, transforming it from good to elite. What's particularly exciting is how Hamilton's arrival could boost the Lions' chances in the playoffs, especially in snowy conditions, which could neutralize deep threats like Cooper Kupp of the Rams. With Hamilton, Detroit could match up better against elite pass catchers, and his ability to read plays, make tackles, and force turnovers would be huge in tight postseason games. Pairing him with younger players like Brian Branch, who's been developing into a playmaking safety himself, creates a dynamic duo that can wreak havoc on opposing offenses. Plus, with Kerby Joseph's recent knee setback, having a player of Hamilton's caliber would provide the stability and playmaking ability the Lions need to make a deep playoff run. From a statistical standpoint, Hamilton's 2025 numbers are eye-popping. His 58 tackles and 3 interceptions in just 13 games, combined with a PFF grade of 92.0, tell you everything you need to know about his impact. His missed tackle rate of only 3.9% shows he's technically sound, and his ability to cover tight ends and slot receivers makes him a matchup nightmare for offenses. For Detroit, acquiring a player like Hamilton isn't just about adding talent. It's about elevating the entire unit, making them more versatile and dangerous, especially in crucial playoff moments. Now, let's not forget the potential ripple effects of this move. If Detroit lands Hamilton, it could set a precedent in the NFC North, a division that's already competitive but could get even tougher. The Vikings are rebuilding and the Packers are looking to reload, but the Lions, with this kind of defensive upgrade, might just leave their rivals in the dust. The NFC North is shaping up to be a slugfest, and having a player like Hamilton could be the difference maker in close games, especially when the stakes are high in January. Looking ahead, the betting odds could shift significantly. Right now, the Lions are favored to win the division, but with Hamilton reinforcing their defense, their Super Bowl odds could improve from +1,200 to something more favorable, potentially moving closer to +700 or even better. His ability to neutralize top offensive weapons in the playoffs, like Cooper Kupp or other key receivers, would give Detroit a serious advantage. It's not just about having a good defense, it's about having a defense that can dominate in the biggest moments, and Hamilton's addition could be that key piece. In the grand scheme of things, this move, if it happens, could be the catalyst that pushes the Lions from playoff contenders to Super Bowl favorites. Think about the dynamic of pairing Jared Goff with a secondary that includes Hamilton, Branch, and Joseph. It's a recipe for disruption, turnovers, and big plays. The Lions' defense could become as feared as their offense, and that's a scary thought for any opponent. It's reminiscent of some of the best defenses in recent NFL history, where every play seems to be a potential game changer. Of course, there are questions and risks involved. Baltimore might be hesitant to part ways with Hamilton, especially given his youth and potential. But if the Lions are willing to offer draft picks and a promising safety, it could be a deal that benefits both sides. For Baltimore, it's about cap flexibility and rebuilding. For Detroit, it's about adding a game-changing talent who could be the final piece in their Super Bowl puzzle. The NFL is all about those bold moves, and this could be one of the boldest yet for the Lions. So, Lions fans, keep your eyes peeled because this story is developing and the implications are huge. Whether it happens or not, it's exciting to think about what the future could hold for Detroit's defense and their quest for that next Lombardi trophy. The team has been building steadily, and adding a player like Kyle Hamilton could be the spark that ignites their championship run. The NFC North is already competitive, but with this kind of upgrade, the Lions might just be the team to beat in 2025 and beyond. It's a fascinating time to be a Lions fan, and I can't wait to see how this story unfolds in the coming weeks. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Detroit Lions news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Detroit Lions fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential blockbuster trade? Do you think Kyle Hamilton would be the perfect fit to bolster our secondary and push us all the way to the Super Bowl? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion really matters to us and to the Lions. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Detroit Lions news and rumors. We're in this journey together and the future is looking incredibly exciting. Let's keep the passion alive and support our team through every twist and turn. Go Lions!